Icon Radio, your number one entertainment plug.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Deep Talk. Deep Talk is a show all about wisdom and truth. It's about your stories, about the inspiring people we have in our midst in Kenya. And I'm so happy and excited to welcome Kitu on the show.
Yes, me too. It's an honor. Yeah.
Okay, beautiful.
It's iconic.
It's iconic. Are you going to be doing this? You're a lyricist, aren't you? You're known for your gift with the words, right?
Word is bond.
Word is?
Word is bond.
Word is bond. What does that mean?
To me?
Mm-hmm.
To me it means word, sound and power. Maybe the word is... It builds up the whole person, the mind, body and soul. Yeah, it bonds it.
Yeah, that's a very deep understanding, because in the Vedic tradition and in most of the ancient traditions, they understood that sound, the vibration of sound, then created physical things.
Yeah.
So before in the creation of the earth,
yes,
before there was anything physical,
yeah,
there was the mind of God.
Yeah.
That's the idea in the Vedic teachings. Yeah, there was the mind of God. It was just consciousness. You can call it consciousness. And this consciousness, there was nothing but consciousness. And then this consciousness started to have a thought. So it was like a vibration. Okay? Because a thought is a vibration of energy, isn't it?
Yes.
And as God focused his thought more and more, attention more and more on the thought, he gave more energy to it. Or that gave more energy to it. And then that vibration got bigger and bigger and bigger until it changed from thought into sound. So the first thing that was physical in the universe was sound. And then from that sound, as the vibration of the sound got louder and louder and louder and louder and louder and louder and louder, it split into two, and it became physical matter and energetic matter. So energy and physical matter. So all physical things were created from
sound.
From sound.
And a word.
From we can
can't
say it's
have
the same
word without sound.
Right? And interestingly, in the Bible, what does it say in Genesis?
In the beginning, there was word.
There was the Word, and the Word was God, and God was in the Word. So it's very deep. You're a very deep person. Anyway, it's deep. You're.
Which one came first? Is it the light or the word? But the sound made the light.
The sound, it was before. Yeah. It was before. In the beginning, there was the Word.
Because there was darkness.
It was sound. Yeah, there was darkness. And darkness enfolded darkness. In the beginning, right? They say when darkness enfolded darkness.
But I think darkness only exists in the living things. The nature of the animals and human beings. To God, it doesn't exist.
So, I think darkness is the unmanifest. It's not what we think of. That's what I'm starting to learn now as I work more and more on myself. Like, to me, darkness is the place before creation. And we all create in this world, but there's a place we can get to, which is before the creation, and we can vibrate from that place, including through sound, and then we can create from that space.
Like bats.
You can call it chaos, or you can call it the void, or you can call it the unmanifest. But that to me is really darkness. It's the emptiness that gives you a place where you can create from. But anyways, more on that. We haven't even introduced you. Do you want to introduce yourself a little bit for people who may not know you?
I am Kitu, a conscious rap musician. Yeah, I used to work with my shifter, my dearly departed friend. Now I'm a solo artist, working on conscious rap and neo soul thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sort of like common stuff like that, poetry. Yeah.
So Kitusua, first you need to tell me about your name.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't speak Swahili, because there may be some few people who don't speak Swahili, what does it mean?
Kitusua, the sewer is the sewage, the sewer.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's this thing called Kitusua, sure thing, you know. So I converted it into Kiswahili, Kitu, the thing, and then sure thing, Kitusua. It's like a sure bet or something like that.
It's not sewer.
My niggas did that for me.
Who did? So you before you were Kitushua,
Yeah.
and now you are Kitusua.
There's this song by Dasi Fakes called Straight from the Sewer. They were like, no, it's not Kitusua, it's Kitusua.
Oh.
Because you're straight from the sewer, we're in the ghetto, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'll go with it.
Okay, and how do you feel about the name now?
I tried to find a meaning to it and got it, because you know, pia life as a sewer side on itself. People are living in the sewer in this life, and they think they are filthy rich and maybe they are sophisticated and something, but in the real sense, the life is a sewer. It's full of some shit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say that.
Mm-hmm.
So I represent the truth because I expose the reality that people try to hide in their lives. Yeah, and bring about the bitter truth that they don't want to hear, and they're like, wow, you're doing good. Yeah, you're doing good. So I'm making a living out of other people's miseries.
So, you know, as we say, you know, word has power, it creates, right?
Yeah.
Do you ever think you want to be Kitushua?
Pardon?
Do you ever think to yourself, or it's a thought, maybe I'll just drop a pin, like I drop a seed, you know? Do you ever think you want to be Kitushua?
Me? I think I am already.
You are already Kitushua and Kitusua.
Mm.
Or are you both, or are you one?
I am both.
You
It's
are
a
both.
balance.
It's a balance.
I'm a Gemini.
Yeah. Oh, you Gemini. That is so funny. So on one side you're Kitusua, on the dark side, on the light side you are Kitushua.
Of course.
So you have the potential to be a sure thing, and
Yes.
also a thing from
The
the
other
sewer.
side.
Mm.
That's why you guys were saying, he's not coming. And then I showed up. The other time you were like, hey, he's coming. He's not coming.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just nature. Nature's two sides.
It's true. Wow, and you represent that so beautifully with your name. And I did not know that your name was actually a sure thing, and then it came into to something
To the
else.
other.
Yeah. So, should I call you Kitusua or Kitushua? I want to call you Kitushua. Is that okay?
It's okay.
I want to call you Kitushua.
Yeah.
So, Kitushua, how would you describe yourself outside of your career, outside of your name, outside of your personality, outside of your relationships, outside of your titles? Who are you?
I'm a God-fearing man who loves children and women and people. Very much. Yeah. And a man trying to struggle out of addictions. Yeah. Trying to make it better for everybody around me and me. Yeah, me myself too. So that I can be cheerful and have a smile every day. And keeping out of trouble, you know. I don't like being in trouble, like grudges, beef, and stuff like that. I just want to get my things straight. That's the man who I am. I'm trying to. I'm struggling out of trouble
the
and something
sewer.
like that. Yeah. I'm struggling out of Kitusua straight to Kitushua.
Yeah, I told you, I planted that seed just then, you know?
Ah, really?
Yeah.
True.
So, well, God planted that seed, actually.
Yes.
And, Kitasua,
Yes.
tell me about 3 things that you that you really, really value. 3 values that are really important to you.
3 values. What can I say?
Let's take a break for now. Maybe you
The
can come
first
back
one
and
is,
start that.
Okay, so
Yeah, should we take a break and you can answer after the break? Give you a moment to think.
Uh-huh.
So join us if you like what you're listening to. Join the conversation. You can find us at Icon Radio KE on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, and we stream on www.iconradio.co.ke. We'll be right back with Kitu.
Icon Radio.
Welcome back to Deep Talk with Icon Radio K, which is on at Icon Radio KE. And we are with the very deep, maybe the deepest of the deep, Kitashua. I call him Kitashua now, for now, because we want to see the light in people,
Yeah.
right? Not the darkness. So, Kitashua, what are the 3 things that you value the most?
Yeah, I would say my family, health, and anything that has life around me.
And what do you mean by that? Anything that has life around you?
Even animals. So, if not animals, you get the picture. Humans, I value. But most of all, God first.
Okay.
And the core values that are represented by these laws.
Which are, for you?
Which maybe we can go back to the 10 Commandments and stuff like that. But those are natural to anybody, not even Christians, not even Muslims, not even Hindus. You know, you should not kill, you should not commit adultery, you should not steal.
So do you live
I value those.
You value those. So do you live your life by them?
So I value the law.
You value the law, but you do not abide by it, or you do abide by it?
I do abide by the law. I'm a law-abiding citizen. I'm no criminal. No fingerprints.
No fingerprints. The bank has your fingerprints now, so I don't know what that means.
No jail.
Okay. So we were talking in the break a little bit, and I was asking, like, why did you become a rapper who you are today?
It's just something that came from inside me. It's like those things that people say they are talents and they practice them to become them. Mine was just, since I was a little kid, I had an interest in poetry. So yeah, it's inborn. I'm a natural in that field because I started out watching those rap music, those rap songs when I was maybe 10 or something, and something was pulling me through. Something was pulling me towards that. Yeah, and then when I got older, I had an urge to become an activist of sorts because I listen to a lot of reggae, you know. And seeing as I grew up in the poverty lane, I had to address things that people don't know. I had an interest in that. I was like a Bob Marley. I like it, you know. Yeah, not like funk, Bobby Brown. No. Mine was the other side. Tupac, Bob, and all that.
So tell me about where you grew up and, you know, maybe what you've learned from that. Yeah,
I grew up in Dandora, and I came to find out that you can achieve something through thought. Just a thought, a spark of thought. And it's like a ripple effect. Things start to come through, you know. I thought I was a poet. I was writing in English, by the way. Something like, what would you say? I was a Shakespeare fan, you know. And then I saw this Kalamashaka thing. They were starting, those are the founders of rap. So I was like, I can do this in Kiswahili. And then I came to meet them. And then came to meet others. And then I'm in it now. They keep coming, studios, whatever, everything. There's nothing I worked for.
Mm-hmm.
No.
It just came.
They just came. I don't know. It started with that word.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
And then you.
And
then you told me about deep state. You are the first one. You are the first person to tell me about deep state. I never knew that word, you know.
Yeah, the deep
So
state,
they keep on coming. Then I'm in Icon Record, radio, doing some show. The script goes on.
Yes. And you never look for anything; it just comes.
Yeah, I don't know why.
That's how the world really works, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, if we think about it, like every opportunity we've ever had, we didn't make the opportunity. The opportunity came, then we made something with the opportunity.
But we made a first step, sindio?
Probably. I guess if you're doing what you truly love to do, then you're aligning with the highest vibration that is in yourself. And so when you're aligned with the highest vibration, then the highest reality comes for you. Do you know what I'm saying? Because the physical manifestation is just a result of the vibration.
Exactly.
Right? So when you vibrate higher, then your reality becomes higher. That's what
it's like
that's what I know anyways.
You take one step and then two steps.
Then
they come.
It can carry you 5 steps, yeah? Life can carry you. Why not?
Allah.
You know, one of the things I really feel strongly about, we've been programmed from a very young age, we've been really taught, like, life is hard, life is hard, life is hard, life is hard. But even hearing your story now, just that little bit of story from Dandora, it wasn't hard, it just came.
Yeah, come to think of it.
Yeah.
I look back and, yeah.
What are your most special memories of that time in Dandora?
Special memories were when I was with my crew, Koflani Mau Mau. Come to think of it, and as I look back, it wasn't that much bad. Yeah, it was a party after party. But it was good. We had a good time.
Any particular memories in particular you want to share?
Any particular memories? Let me... Sugul. I'm Kitu Su. I don't Google, I Sugul. Acha nicheki. A New Year party at our camp. Yeah, there are all types of people, and it was a overnight thing. Yeah, children, everybody, all types of people.
And what was it like with your crew, with the Koflani Mamau? What was the energy like when you guys were together?
Like the 12 brothers of Israel.
Really?
It was rough, good, rough, up and down, you know. Yeah. The usual, it's family, actually. Yeah, we also go through up and downs with our brothers and sisters, even blood. So it was like blood. Those are my brothers, man.
Yeah, I've seen you together. It's beautiful. And what did you really learn from that? What did you really learn from that part of that journey?
Doesn't have to come through the same womb to be a family. That's what I learned. Some friends can be more closer to you than your real family, you know. I learned that a lot. Yeah.
But you broke away. Or you broke apart.
Because at a certain time, it's like you have to break the full table, the balls. You have to. So the game sets itself after that. One goes to America, another to China, one goes to Sweden, another to Tanzania. We have to spread out. Yeah, even Jesus had to break the bread, and so the disciples had to spread the word to the world,
Yeah. Okay, well, I mean, I have to say
there comes a time,
that was a beautiful avoidance of the
there comes a time
of the truth. Okay, yeah, it's true. Right, well, we'll be right back after this break. Remember to catch us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Icon Radio KE.
Icon Radio.
And welcome back to Icon Radio, a deep talk. We're here with Kitu,
yes,
also known as, or better known as Kitu.
Yeah.
So, Kitu, I want to ask you about challenge and struggle. And maybe for you to share, because we all have challenge and struggle in our lives. But challenge or struggle is where we really, really learn and we really, really grow. So I wonder, for you, what's your biggest struggle? What's your biggest challenge at the moment?
I'm kind of a perfectionist, and it's becoming a problem to me. Because I can't work with something that I don't know the end result exactly. I'm like a Picasso. I don't know, it's a problem. It makes me procrastinate a lot. I think of things like they have to be perfect, but it's not a perfect world, But somehow it's building me in the sense of art, but in the commercial sense it's not working, So I'm trying to figure out how I can accept the world as it is and then balance that equation. I could go to the studio and do some lyrics and be like, no, they're not good, don't relate, but people like them, So it's hindering my financial success in a way.
Because you don't release things, or?
Yeah, because I leave them halfway. I'll procrastinate a lot, I don't know how I can solve that problem. In a sense, it's making me better in the art world, but in this other world...
Yeah, I get you. I'm actually the same, but this is what I can share about what I know, what I've learned about perfectionism. You see, I think perfectionism comes when we think we are the creator. So then it must be perfect, because if it's not perfect, then we aren't. Do you know what I'm saying? We're connecting what we create with our value.
We are connecting?
What we create with our value. I have value because I can write perfectly. I can draw perfectly. I can rap perfectly. That's when my value. Now I know I have value. Now people will respect me. Now I can respect myself. Right? But, as Jesus said, right, and like if you really want to access the kingdom of heaven, then you be like the little children. Correct?
Exactly.
The little children don't say, look, I did the most beautiful art, therefore now I have value, now you love me.
It brings along pride, eh?
It's basically, for me, what I understand is it's something connected to our value. We think our value is in our craft, and also we think that we are the creators of that. But for me, a different way of looking at it is that we can become vessels for God's consciousness to come through us. Okay? Or we can be vessels of the highest consciousness if we just open ourselves up and receive. And when we open ourselves up, then things just flow. And even if there's a comma missing in the first iteration, or a point or an apostrophe, right? It doesn't matter because we are speaking truth. And that's the most powerful thing there is. So it doesn't matter if the truth is perfectly written down. What matters is the experience somebody has. But that is still not our value. So there's another level to it, which is that's still not our value. Yes, for me, every time I work with people, and every time before I record this show, I always ask to be a vessel for God's healing. Because God is healing the world.
We are not the creators.
We're not the creator. We're a vessel.
We are the vessel.
And we have been given gifts, and the gifts is to express higher consciousness in a particular way. My grandma expresses higher consciousness when she cooks. That's maybe her gift. She writes as well. She's also an amazing writer. I have a gift to express when I teach. But it's not me. It's not mine. I don't own that truth.
That's come talent straight from.
It's like it's a gift that I was given,
gift,
and
yeah.
everybody has a
Yes,
gift
it's a
somewhere.
gift, yeah.
Right? So when we think we are the creator, we try to control the creation. And that's where it becomes a problem.
Yeah.
But if we know we're not the creator and we want the highest to come through us, then we are open and we allow and we see what comes through, and something
Beautiful
more
times.
great comes than we could ever do ourselves, right?
Mentally and spiritually and physically.
And everything. And then that...
Even financially.
So finances is tricky because finances are material, right?
Yeah, material.
Something material.
Yeah.
So when do they flow? They flow when you are, like for me, in my experience, and I think your experience too, is when you're not looking for it, it comes.
Exactly.
That's my experience.
Yeah.
When you're not caring about that, when you're caring so much about what you're doing, when you're so moved by what you're doing and you're not worried about that, it just comes. That's what's happened in my life. Then when you're trying to find it, it's difficult. Because you're looking for that. You're not looking to be an...
So how would you explain that? Because it's something that's... it's like invisible. It's not 1 + 1 = 2.
But all
it's
nothing
like karma or
yeah,
what?
nothing in creation is like that, you know. First of all, I think we all have beliefs that are operating at our subconscious level around finances, around money. We've been programmed that money doesn't grow on trees. Money is hard to come by. I don't get money easily. There's all these beliefs. Now, your subconscious is like 90% of your mind. It's 9 times more than your conscious mind. What you're thinking every day, all your thoughts, all your experiences, all your work, all your words, everything you know is only 5 to 10% of your mind. 95% of your mind is the subconscious. And so all of those things have geared your subconscious. And your subconscious is the one that is creating your reality, not your conscious mind. Because your subconscious is so much bigger than your conscious mind, right? So now if at the subconscious level you have all kinds of negative beliefs about money and all finances, it's difficult to find.
Not even finances only.
Anything. Anything. Your value, your worth, how beautiful you are, how healthy you are, if you're fat or you're thin or whatever it is, it's all in the subconscious. And that is driving your life.
9 times more than the...
So your conscious mind is this much, your subconscious mind is this much. So the work that I do with healing is on at the subconscious level, is in healing these kind of subconscious patterns that have been programmed or you've got through your experiences. And once you start to heal those, your physical reality changes.
So those are the ones that create the habits.
Yes. That's why, for example, I always say this, like, let's say you want to bake a cake, but somewhere in your subconscious there's a belief that you can't bake. You can't bake. Baking is difficult, and you can't do it. So it'll take you procrastinate and procrastinate and procrastinate and procrastinate to do that, first of all. And you won't know why.
Biggest problem.
And you won't even know why. It's because something in the subconscious is saying, you can't do this. You're not good enough. It's too difficult. It won't work. Many of those beliefs, okay? So what will happen is you'll procrastinate. Then finally, the day you decide to bake the cake, you'll say, okay, let me go to the shop and buy the ingredients. So then you'll go to the shop and you'll buy the ingredients, but you'll forget one or two. Or you'll leave the shopping list on the table and you'll have to only remember. So when you come back, you don't have the ingredients. Now, your conscious mind is saying, no, I didn't do that on purpose. That was an accident. But it is your subconscious that is hindering your conscious. So nothing is an accident. Even if you're late. Even if you're late and there was a jam or whatever, it's nothing is
in the subconscious.
conscious. So that's where the source of all our misery is in.
So how do you change the pattern?
You change the subconscious, and that's healing. That's healing, and anything you do to heal yourself. And we can talk more about that when we come back.
Exactly.
Yes, but we'll be right back. Don't forget to join the conversation. Icon Radio KE, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram.
Icon Radio.
Now I'd like to turn to something you mentioned in the beginning, which is that you said you're a man who's also struggling with addiction. Do you want to tell me a little bit more about that and how you're experiencing that in your life right now?
Yeah, I'm doing good, I could say, because the other time I checked, I couldn't be in a show at this time sober. But now I think I'm healing. I'm in the process. Yeah. What do you want to know about it?
I want to understand more about what addiction is like for you. What is it like? What does it feel like? And how do you deal with it?
I was in an alcohol addiction, but no other drugs. It's bad. You know, dealt with withdrawal symptoms, fighting my demons, and I'm back now. I think I'm going cool now. I only casually take some. But it was only because of people not understanding you, who are around you, that you plunge into troubles and problems, you know. Like, for example, what I was talking about, finances and all that, relationship, yeah, it really plunged me into that. But now I'm recovering because I never went to know, what do we call it? A rehabilitation, whatever. I never went to that, but I think I had good friends. Yeah, and some family. So I think I'm in the process of recovering from that. Yeah, but it can really wreck a man. Yeah, I've seen people die because of that. Many. All of them it's alcohol related. Many. Even my partner, Myra, my friend, the rapper Mr. Jiwiji, when we were Mashifta, I think the only thing that led to his death was alcohol. It was alcohol related. It's a problem in the society, actually. Yeah.
It's actually one of the reasons why we drink this on the show, actually, Booch, because
Because of what?
because I feel that, I mean, one of the reasons I was so feeling so strongly about this drink is because I really do feel alcohol is really damaging. It's destroying a lot of people, especially in the music industry. Especially in the music industry.
You don't even have an idea. I think the last time I checked, what was it? There's a funeral going on right now, alcohol related. Somebody very close, a friend. Yeah, and there are 2 more.
And
They keep coming in. I don't know what's happening in the society and this thing.
yeah, I mean, I've seen it for myself, and I feel like it's so destructive. So I really wanted to try to...
And drugs too.
And drugs,
Yeah, drugs are destroying the youth. It's and it's coming into the entertainment industry.
And Kitu, maybe you could share a little bit, I don't know if this is okay with you, a little bit about how it felt when you were in those times of darkness and with your demons, fighting your demons, and when you were turning to alcohol. How did you feel? How was the experience like?
It's like hell. I don't know what to say. Withdrawal is a big problem. It's disastrous.
And what is it, do you think, that got you out a little bit, at least a little bit? What helped you?
The right company
The right
and
company.
friends. And I got my two sisters who keep on being Kali to me.
It's not a bad thing to be Kali, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not. You always need to be a little child, as you said. Yeah. And to humble down and simmer down.
And given, all the struggles you've had in all the days you've walked, like, what is it that keeps you going?
People like you. People like Uko Flani Mau, people like Akina Ruby, na ile show yake ya hip hop. There's some people that are consistent with this movement that always keep you alive. They like you said when I came, like you told me, some people regard me. Those are the people who keep me going. And also, the word, the thought, started. It's a ripple effect. You can't stop it. It's in the subconscious.
Do you still write? Are you still writing
I'll be
poetry?
honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
The longest I've taken since I started writing is this. I don't know what's happening to me. What's wrong?
They say there's a time for meditation and there's a time for implementation.
It's almost 2 months I haven't written anything.
2 months.
Yeah.
It's not a very long time.
That's very long for me. Aki.
Maybe there's something that you're doing a lot, but you think you're not doing anything.
Exactly. I think I'm focusing on what a manager should be focusing on, rather than do the work. So I'm looking for that, and I think I got some people who are willing to work with me. And of course, you also have shown me something. I was looking for a band anyway.
All shall come to you easily.
Exactly.
All shall come to you easily.
I was working too hard, so I even forgot. I forgot what I was working for. In the first place, I'm supposed to be writing.
Yeah, that's you have to remember what you do and why you do it. We'll get to that next time. All right, well, we'll be right back after this break.
Icon Radio.
All right, welcome back. This is Deep Talk. We're with Kitu.
Yes.
We're not sure which one he is, or in any given moment. The Gemini.
Exactly.
So we were talking about, how you haven't written for a couple of months, and I wanted to maybe take you back to ask you if you know and can articulate, what do you feel your mission is here in this lifetime?
Pardon?
What do you feel your mission is in this lifetime? What do you really want to do with this life? No limits, like, what do you want to do?
I want to make it better for others and myself too. Yeah, that means prosperity in the sense of material and spiritual and mental without affecting my core values and my life. Yeah.
That's your desire.
Yeah.
And what
exactly.
And what do you think your mission is?
No, that's my desire.
That's your desire,
I
right?
don't know how to distinguish between
The mission and the desire.
my desire.
Yeah.
My mission is my desire.
Right. Okay, so let me explain. Maybe I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
So my desire is to be and experience abundance in my life. And what abundance means to me is, as you said, it's in all areas of life, But my mission is to really empower others. That's what I believe in. Like, that's what makes me excited and energized. I want other people to know that they have all the power inside of them. They don't need anything from outside.
Then we have some mutual thing going on, because that's my mission. I didn't just know how to explain it. Because actually, I mentor other upcoming artists, many of them. Many. That's my mission, by the way. You explained my mind exactly. To empower others and the younger ones too. Yeah.
And how do you feel when you mentor these young people? How do you feel?
A sense of achievement.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And what about you? Have you had any mentors?
Yeah, I had many mentors when I came up, because as you said, anything you work on brings itself to you. I told you I was watching Shaka perform in Nigeria, and then there were no artists. I had Stone, and then suddenly I'm like in their room where they do their practice, and then I asked myself, why not anybody else? Why me? So yeah, I have some mentors, and I'm a mentor to others the same way. So I don't what do we call it? I don't what do we call it? What's that name? Yeah, kama apartheid.
Like apartheid, distinguished, differentiate? I know what you're talking about. Segregate?
I don't.
Yeah.
Whether they got the money or they don't, just take them to the studio and they do their thing. They use me as a mentor to them. Yeah, they tell me that when my name comes up to through their song, it's good, yani. They make sales and something like that. So I don't demand anything from them, you know. So that's the way I do things, because that's the way things were done for me.
For you.
Yeah.
And
my mentors never asked me for anything. Never asked me to pay them anything.
Of course, a mentor is not paid.
Yeah. So I do that freelance. Yeah. So that, I think, is empowering, as you were saying.
And what did you learn from your mentors?
The same thing I just talked about. What you give is what you get. So they gave me what they gave me freely. Freely give and freely receive. So I give freely too.
And if there's one teaching that you could leave the world with, like one piece of wisdom, what would that be?
God said, love your neighbors as you love yourself. So you have to love yourself first so you can love the neighbors. Yeah.
Oh my God, jinx, because I've been saying that, you know. I said we've reached a point in humanity. So funny.
Minds are connected.
Yeah, we're connected.
Intuition.
There's some connection, yeah, for sure. Because for me, I've been saying, because like the work that I do one-to-one with people, it's like, I really see that we don't love ourselves the way we love others.
Exactly.
Like our mind is constantly beating ourselves up that we are failures, we're not good enough, we are this and that, we're never going to do anything. And so I feel like the time for the reverse teaching has also come.
Yeah.
That we must love ourselves. And when we love ourselves, then we can love our neighbors.
How would you know love if you don't love yourself?
Yes, true. That's very, very relevant, I feel, for
it's
everybody.
It's going on everywhere, even in my hood. People go out and do the most for others and get nothing in return, you know. Just like Bob Marley sang, you give your more to receive your less. Why not give yourself more and give more and more to others?
Yeah, it's true. And that's the beginning of abundance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Because it can be a cancer for you. You get ulcers trying to give your love to people who don't give it back. And then, you know, it will be a waste. Maybe you will go to heaven.
But, do you believe in heaven and hell?
But God will ask you, You don't even love yourself or not. How come you wanna come to heaven?
Are you really able to give somebody love if you don't love yourself? Can you give love if you don't love yourself? You can't.
You cannot.
Yeah, I think that too.
Did Jesus do that?
I think Jesus
he was a martyr, yeah? But he
Jesus,
loved himself.
I think Jesus was love. He was just love personified.
Oh, no self-love, it's just
because
love.
he was whole, because he was one with everything. So he's not separate. So he was love.
He
to
didn't
me,
need material things.
Jesus was taught love. He was a teacher of love.
Uh-huh.
And of course, he loved everything and everyone, because he was everything and everyone. When you become divine, you're one with everything.
It's like Neo, Matrix.
Yes, I don't know. I know. Everybody keeps saying to watch that movie. I need to watch that movie again. I haven't watched it for so long, but I must watch it.
You're not a movies person.
I definitely used to be, but I haven't been so much these days.
I want you to watch one movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's called. It's one of the latest. It's called Don't Look Up. Cameraman, umeona hiyo movie?
Oh yeah, I saw it. I did.
You
Don't
saw
look
it?
up. Yeah, it's very relevant.
Fascinating, and it's very funny. Did you see what happened in that movie? A comet is coming to knock the world out, and people are trying to harvest that comet.
Yeah.
It was so hilarious to me.
It is hilarious. Indeed, it's hilarious.
And do you think people are going to do that? That's the deep state.
People are already doing that. They're denying they're not they're just listening to what they're told.
They can leave the whole world out and burn it down and go to Mars.
Yeah, people are already doing that. I mean, they're destroying everything that is around us, and that's what we depend on. It's already happening in another way.
So in a sense, that movie had a subconscious message.
Yeah.
Subliminal.
Yeah, that movie was a commentary, I think, on society today, where we are.
It's almost on the brink.
I think we're just there. We're destroying ourselves, and yet we're like, don't look over there, Yeah,
because they're like, it is up there, just look at it. And they're like...
No, That's hilarious. So, my last question is musically. I know you released an album about a year ago, 2 years ago, a year ago?
A year ago, but it was a collaboration.
Collaboration with Malvete.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the album. And I love the first song, Kun Faya Kun.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you could just tell us a little bit more about the album.
Yeah, the album, we did it just like you said. They keep coming. We hadn't written that album down as a script, like now we are going to do an album. No. Even that name, Kiswahili, came after we did that album. The second song on that album was written in that studio. The third song was written on that studio. It was not even agreed upon what we are doing. So at the end of the album, we revisited the album and listened to it as a listening party. It was like, they are all connected. They are all related. It's like the same topic.
You became a vessel.
Yeah.
You were not the creator, but the vessel in that, weren't you?
Uh-huh.
Was there any issue with perfectionism there?
No, I think it just flowed.
It just flowed. Because you got out of the way of the flow. Right? I mean, that's what it sounds like to me.
Exactly. And you know what? It took a very little time to do that album. It almost 2 weeks.
I think the viewers should really listen to that album, because that album is really about our times, and it's about what is so important for Kenya, for people, but for humanity, for the world right now, which is healing, and the beautiful name Kiswahili. So I highly recommend it. And we'll be right back after this break.
Icon Radio.
So sharing whatever issue you'd like to understand better and get some wisdom on, of course it makes you very vulnerable because you're sharing it with the world. And so most people think that being vulnerable makes you weak. But being vulnerable, it requires a great deal of courage. And when you're vulnerable, you're at your most powerful. You will impact the most people. You know? So vulnerability is power, it's not weakness. But those who are afraid, they tell you it is weakness. Because they're afraid.
Now I get you.
So it's scary, isn't it, to be able to think about sharing, right?
Very,
Which means that it requires courage to do it, right? Which means that it can't be weak, because if you're weak, you don't have courage. Do you understand? So you can clearly see being vulnerable requires courage, which requires strength or power. And the impact that you will have on others when you're being vulnerable is when you're completely naked, you know, then people will see you, but they'll see your light. And that's the most powerful you are. So, what is the issue that you would like to maybe understand a little bit more about today? Or get some guidance, wisdom, insight into?
I think that addiction thing really needs some message on it. Because I'm doing good, but it's not over. And I'm not going to any rehabilitation, you know. So I need some experience on that, on how to deal with the withdrawal symptoms and that.
Can I ask you why you're not going to rehab?
Yeah, because most of them people who come from rehabs relapse a lot, even worse than I am.
But do you see other people who don't go to rehab succeeding?
Yeah, let's say they are balancing. They're
the same.
They're not too high, not too low.
Okay, so but they don't quit.
Yeah, they don't quit.
Yeah.
But most of them who go to rehab, I've seen.
They quit, but then they relapse.
The worst. Yeah, so I think it's all about it's all in the mind.
Right.
Yeah, so when you go to other type of medicines or other people to seek better results from them, when you go away from them, you become
Helpless.
you are dependent.
Hey, that's just a thought, because if somebody's really empowering you, they're not making you dependent.
I believe I can go to rehab. It's not bad, but it has to start with me. Not those. Most of them who relapse are taken by their families, maybe by force or something like that, or maybe they have to go to work abroad or something, so they have to go to rehab and something. So when they come back, that reason that they went to rehab for, the time is over for that reason. So they can go back to normal lives. They're not working now, or maybe the family paid for some time, maybe 3 months, maybe 4 months. So when they come back, it's all back to the same. They're already dependent on that.
Okay. Well, let's see what happens. So I'm going to close my eyes, and basically what I'll be doing is I'll just be speaking from the heart, not from the mind.
Exactly.
Now, when I do that, the only thing is, like, if there's interjections, I tend to go out of it. So if you do that's right, then I tend to come out. So if you could just try to listen, just try to listen. If you have a specific question, like I don't understand that, can you clarify? That's okay. But if it's the constant interjection, then I tend to lose it. Okay? So let's see what comes up and what it says about what's going on with you, okay? And it just take a little bit of time. So I see you, and I see you that you're crying. But it's like you're crying in a way that's not like sadness, but it's pain. It's like there's too much pain in your body. It's like it's torture. It's like you're on fire, but it's inside, not outside. And you can't take it. You can't take it. You can't handle it. It's just too much, you know? But you can't escape it either. So already the wisdom has come. What I'm seeing that is needed is water. And also there's a hand that's now coming. There's a hand that is coming, and it's saying, it's like, I'm here, just take my hand. It's a big hand. And if you hold on to that hand gives you strength. To me, that is the hand of God. It will give you that strength. You will not feel that pain as much as you are feeling it. He will hold you steady. That hand will hold you steady. I can feel prayer, the answer, like prayer. I can feel the need to, like, you like, there's a prayer that's happening. Like a deep prayer and continuous prayer. And then that thing can pass, because the only way out is through. There is no way out of this unless you go through it. So the pain is too much, so you try to escape it. But there's no escape from the pain. So the only way is through, and what will help you, and the only thing, like, you can't do it on your own in some sense. Like, it's too much for you. So you need that hand. You need to hold that hand. It will help you already. And then after you hold the hand, then automatically you will start to get into prayer. And that prayer will give you a focus and it's like you're focused so much on the prayer that you're no longer focused on the pain. And so the wisdom that is coming is, it's saying, is it hand or hold? But both. Yeah.
It's exactly what's going on. How do you know that?
It's what I see. So the only way out is through. You can't avoid it, Kitu. Okay?
Through the pain.
Yeah, you're getting into the pain, then you're trying to run away. You know what I'm saying? Because it's too much for you. You can't do this alone. You need that hand. You need to hold that hand. That hand is going to give you a lot of strength. It will reduce the pain and it will give you that strength. And then you have to go into prayer. And as you go into prayer, you will be so focused in that prayer, you will even forget the pain. And that is the way you're going to pass through it.
Exactly. Advice taken.
All right. Well, Kitu.
And it's true. Yeah, I'm going through something. I hope I'll see you in the next side.
Maybe the next
I'm
side is
go through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just do it. Do it. Just take the hand.
The process just.
All right. So thank you so much for being here. Is there any final things you'd like to share with people or the world? Is there anything you'd really like to say?
Tell them to drink kombucha or what?
On a serious note.
On a serious note, Yeah.
Or let me say on a deep note.
On a deep note. Yeah, on a deep note. I think I'm on a... Let's stay on the boat today.
All right. All right.
Okay. Love you all, people. And support consciousness and conscious music in the society, so that together we can raise deeper minds up.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Remember, you can join the conversation. Icon Radio KE on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and we're streaming on www.iconradio.co.ke. Have a blessed day, and continue to raise the vibration. Much love.
Icon Radio, your number one entertainment plug.